I don't know exactly how to open this, so... Random thing!
Goodbye, my son. Our hopes and dreams travel with you.
He'll be an outcast. They'll kill him.
How? He'll be a god to them. What if a child dreamed of becoming something other than what society had intended? What if a child aspired to something greater?
My son was in the bus. He saw what Clark did.
You're the answer, son. You're the answer to are we alone in the universe?
Can I just keep pretending I'm your son?
You are my son. And I have to believe that you were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes the rest of your life, you owe it to yourself to find out what that reason is.
How do you find someone who has spent a lifetime covering his tracks? For some, he was a guardian angel. For others, a ghost who never quite fit in.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall. But in time, they will join you in the sun. In time, you will help them accomplish wonders.
You believe your son is safe? I will find him!
My father believed if the world found out who I really was, they'd reject me. He was convinced that the world wasn't ready. What do you think?
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S.
On my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S. How about...
Excuse me.
Hi guys, Josh Aloy here, and welcome to my thoughts on Man of Steel. It's kind of set up for Suicide Squad, so this is just, just something I want to get my thoughts out on the movie, so let's just get right into it. Do you want my non-spoilers? Let's just go into them right now, because there will be spoilers later on, so if you can stay for now. Let's go on the non-spoilers. The story is basically... Okay, Star Wars, you heard this before. There was this planet, and it's dying, and only one of the people on the race know it. But then, Krypton's general decided to try and take it over. So it tries to kill all the High Council and basically declare martial law over the entire planet. But then, Jor-El steals a thing called the Codex, and then places it in his the essence into his his natural-born child, Kal-El. And with the help of his wife Laura, they send them into space, but in the process, Krypton is destroyed, unfortunately. Then the boy lands on Earth, and then spend several years on there trying to figure out who he is and to see if he really can make a difference. That's pretty much the story in a nutshell. My thoughts, basically, I had no idea that this movie was split down the middle, about some people liking it and some people hating it. Me personally, I'm one of the people that actually like Man of Steel because I think it's an interesting take on Superman. It kind of gives him a realistic, a realistic approach to him. I mean, I admit it can be done better, but it is new and fresh, because basically throughout basically all the Superman movies we got after 2 and 4, when Superman Returns came out, Superman had basically nearly done everything, nearly. And the only thing that ever happened to him is he got infected by kryptonite or something, and then he would be defeated for that time being in the main villain. And plus the villain would always sometimes be Lex Luthor or something. But in this movie it's General Zod, if you couldn't guess, and yeah, General Zod's a good villain, I think, in this movie. Henry Cavill is a good Superman. I definitely could see Superman in there, but it's still like an unsure one. Just think a bit like New 52 Superman a bit, but with Superman actually knowing what he's actually going to do. So, yeah, as I said, Henry Cavill's a good Superman. He does Superman great justice in this movie, I think. Justice. I was like, this guy is Superman. This guy here I'm looking at right now is Superman. And the guy who played General Zod, I can't remember his name right now. He can be threatening, but very funny at the same time. Like this bit, like obviously Zod gets captured by the Kryptonian government and all that, and then he walks up to Lara and he goes up to her face and he says, "You think your son is safe? I will find him. I will find him. I will find him. I will find him. I will find him!" And but that is a very funny moment in my opinion. I'm not the only one that thinks that. He was a very overdramatic interpretation of Zod, and in the movie, sorry to say, he does not say, "Kneel before Zod." Totally missed opportunity, I think. But hey, Zod was a good villain in the end, I think. Definitely one that Superman could actually physically fight. Besides Zod's army, who went to Phantom Zone and then came out after Krypton's destruction. Amy Adams is Lois Lane. I think she did good. I mean, I wouldn't say one of the best, but it's definitely a good portrayal of Lois Lane. I mean, the only other one I could think of off the top of my head is Martha Kidder, I believe her name is, from the original Superman movies. She was a good Lois Lane. I don't know, maybe we'll just give Amy Adams a, more screen time, because she's only been in 2 movies thus far for DC, so maybe she'll be in Justice League, maybe she'll be in the Batman movie, whenever the hell that comes out. Maybe we'll see more of her. I don't know, we just have to hold on faith or whatever. As for the rest of the actors, they all do good. They do fine. Morpheus is in the movie, believe it or not. Yeah. This guy. He's Perry White. Didn't see that coming. He does fine. He does. I think he's a really cool Perry White. It's very hard to find things to talk about and not give away spoilers for the first half. Is there anything else I should mention before I go into spoilers? Jonathan and Martha Kent. Great. I like their portrayals. Jonathan, I do agree, has questionable life lessons he imbues on Clark. Because the idea is, like, this Jonathan Kent isn't like, "Son, you were put here for a reason." This Jonathan Kent is more like, "You gotta keep this side of yourself a secret, because I don't think this world is ready to see what you can do, and they might hate and fear you." And that is an interesting concept. And then, like, okay, this is going to be a little spoiler or whatever, before we go into actual spoilers. Clark is involved in a bus accident. It goes into the river. So, and he's with a bunch of school kids as well. So, they're all going to die. So, Clark has to risk actually exposing I have superpowers. So he saves the bus, saves this guy that was giving him a hard time. And then, like, the kid's mother comes and shows up at their house and is like, oh, your son has a gift from God. He saved everyone on that bus. Everybody saw what he can do. And then Jonathan Kent's like, we talked about this. You can't show this side of yourself. You can't. And then Clark basically says, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to just let them die? And Jonathan Kent says, maybe. Which really made people angry, because, like, Jonathan Kent is not what he's supposed to say. No! And I'm like, well, in that situation, if you're like a father of this kid that can do things, and you're concerned for his safety and what he can do, it's like, well, I don't know what I would personally do in that situation, if I had to do that. I think that's his thing, I think? I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's a strange thing. A strange scene as well. But I still like Jonathan Kent. He was pretty good, more or less. And now I'm going to give you 10 seconds to click off this video or go straight to the end to we're going to spoilers now. So, here we go. Okay. So, Superman... I don't know where to start, actually. Okay. Superman goes across a bunch of places, you know, being a guardian angel and all that. Like, he's a fisherman, he's a bartender, he works in the Arctic for a while, I believe. So, you know, that's all well and good, and then he finds his Superman's costume in, like, this old ancient Kryptonian spaceship that was on Earth for however long. I have no idea, like, at all. And Lois Lane tries to, like, because she's saved by Superman when she follows him into, like, the ship. She's injured, and then he cauterizes the wound, and then she's just left in the snow, and then the rescue copter come down, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna find out who this guy is, because I smell a story. It's a story, and she wants to go ahead and tell about, because I guess it's a story of a lifetime or something. Perry wouldn't print it, so she leaks it online, which I'm sure will work out great, because the internet is a great place to upload stuff, especially world-changing news and all that, so great job, Lois. And then when she finally confronts him again and wants to know more about his story, Clark is basically like, well, what if I don't want my story being told? And she's like, well, it's going to get out eventually. And then then he goes into detail on, because she's at the grave of Jonathan Kent, and in this version, other than dying from a heart attack, he's killed by a tornado. The real weird and stupid thing is, Clark was there, and he was like, and they were saving a bunch of people, getting them underneath the bridge, not using his powers, obviously, like, you know, like, come on, get all of this bridge and all that, and then, like, I think their dog is trapped in a car or something, and Clark is like, I'll go get him, and Jonathan Kent's like, no, you go and take care of your mother. And I'm like, okay, I think you can let Clark take care of this. It's just running to the car, opening the door, get the dog, run back. But no, we have to have Jonathan Kent die, so then he's like, his leg gets caught on the door thing and he gets crushed a little bit, and Clark is about to go and save him, like, use his super speed and show that he's not human. But then Jonathan Kent's like, and then the tornado overwraps him and kills him, and then he dies. So then it's like a, I guess, interpretation thing, like, because this movie is supposed to be dark and stuff, so you can look at it two ways, I guess. If you're like, he could have saved his dad, but he believed in him to, like, keep the secret he had, to, like, you know, And or you can look at it as Superman. There was no reason why Superman, Clark at this point, I guess not Superman yet, but that Clark couldn't go and save his dad. There was no way. There was nothing stopping him. And the reason why I think the heart attack thing works better is because Superman can't save people from that. That's one thing he can do. He can save people from falling buildings. He can save people from getting shot, stabbed, and beaten to death. But he can't stop people from natural causes like cancer, heart attacks. That's something he can't do, and that's I think it's very interesting. And like, yeah, he has all this power, but there's still things that even Superman can't stop. And I think that's a pretty interesting concept and all that. And I just wish they did it the other way, the Jonathan Kent death or anything. I mean, obviously, you know he's gonna die. Jonathan Kent always dies in these movies. He only survives in one movie. No, he never survives in one movie. What else to talk about? Zod's plan is to turn Earth into basically Krypton. So he has these world-changing machines that kind of feels like a sick techno beat, like so that's Zod's plan, and Superman and Zod's like, I need the Codex, and you could help me restore Krypton. And Superman is like, no, you're gonna destroy Earth in the process. And like, he's like, he says something like, the foundation needs to be built on something. And I was like, oh, you bastard. And obviously Superman stops him, he destroys the ship, he's like, Krypton had its chance! And then he uses his heat vision, like, to destroy the ship, because they have, like, the pod when he was a baby, to, like, basically send all the Kryptonians back into the Phantom Zone. And, it's a pretty sick scene, you know, because Metropolis gets fucked up in this movie. Like, the World Engine #1 is, like, right above Metropolis. And World Engine 2 is like on the other side of the planet, just like trying to get to the core and change it, like physically. And that's a really cool sequence. The Metropolis getting attacked by General Zod's world-changing machine. One thing I don't get in this movie is the romance, because Lois Lane and Clark literally just meet. And then like, the FBI or something take away Lois Lane because she's the only one that's been in contact with this alien. Because Zod makes his presence known, like, there is another my kind on your planet, and you will hand him over. I'm still giving him that voice, but that's literally how he sounds like. So like the whole world knows, like, oh shit, there's an alien on this planet that's actually belonging to that alien over there. And they're hunting for him. So they bring in Lois, then Superman's like, I want to speak to Lois Lane. And they're like, what makes you think she's actually here? And he's like, don't play games with me, General. I'll settle that, I'll surrender peacefully. And then she's like, he meets up with Lois and she's like, why are you surrendering to Zod? And he's like, I'm not surrendering to Zod. I'm surrendering to humanity. There is a difference. And like, oh, Superman. And then, like, they do an interesting thing where, like, she asks, so, what's the S stand for? And he's like, it's not an S. On my home world, it's a symbol of hope. Something like that, anyway. And she's like, well, here, it's an S. How about Super? And then, like, the guy, the person, then, yeah. Anyway, the romance, then, like, when he goes to, like, send himself to Zod, they're, like, there's, like, this moment, I guess, where they look into each other's eyes and all that, and there's a deep connection and all that. I mean, I guess this look can make sense at some point, but then, when the Kryptonians do come to, like, take, Kal-El to Zod, they, then, like, oh yeah, and we also want that chick over there. Yeah, they want that chick. Yeah, she has to come with us. and we're like, what? Why? And they don't really explain why they need Lois. They're like, need her because we need Lois to be saved or something. I don't fucking know. They don't explain it in the movie. What do you expect me to say? So yeah, let's just go straight to the action. The action in this movie is cool, but holy shit, there's so much destruction in this movie. Like the one in Smallville, like, they pretty much destroy the entire town, more or less. I mean, they don't, but they might as well. Like, there was buildings being destroyed, like power plants being destroyed, 7-Elevens being destroyed, and the fight is cool. Like, it's the most stylish Superman fight you would ever see in a Superman movie, ever. In this Superman movie, which I like, but it's like, Jesus Christ, that destruction, no. Well, you mean, when you first see it, you don't really think about it, I guess, but on the second viewing or third, or maybe the first viewing, you're like, okay, that's way too much destruction. I want to see a Superman movie, not a Michael Bay production. And that's honestly how I felt, like, when I actually realized that, like, oh, it kind of reminded me of a Michael Bay movie, actually, now, believe it or not. Zack Snyder wants to be the new Michael Bay. I mean, it's not like explosions, but destruction, but, you know. For me, that's like a minor gripe, I suppose, but damn, it's still noticeable. So the final fight between Superman and Zod, it's cool. They fuck up Metropolis, though, even more. Like, they're going through buildings, but I do believe at one point they do take the fight into space for like 20 seconds, and then they fall back down to Earth. Then near the end of the fight, the most controversial thing happened. When I say that, I mean, I do believe this moment is split. Zod is using his heat vision to, like, kill this family, and Superman's having him like a headlock, like, don't do this, stop! And Zod's like, no, I'm gonna fucking kill that family. No, either I kill them, or you will kill me. And then Superman, not able to stop him, cracks his neck. Dead. No more General Zod. And then he brings out a big, tremendous scream for what he did, because he didn't want to kill him. Some people didn't like this because Superman never killed, he shouldn't have killed, he should have found another way. Admittedly, yeah, maybe when he had the headlock, he could have just, like, flew up or something with him if he had the strength and all that. Or, like, I don't know, put his hand over the heat vision or whatever, because he's fucking Superman. Well, hurt, but hey, at least it will stop or something. And that's for that family. They could easily escape. I mean, all they had to do, because Superman, like, the head's turning very slowly. And then, like, they go, and not once do they think, I have legs. Just flash that shit up. No. But as for the people that say Superman's never killed, he has killed. He has killed. Forgot, he killed General Zod in the original Superman movies. In Superman 2, he fucking kills General Zod. He, like, crushes his hand, throws him into a wall, and then he just falls down the Fortress of Solitude chasm. But then, like, in the Richard Donner cut or whatever, they survived, and they're, like, being arrested by Fortress of Solitude security or something. I don't know. It was very stupid, I think. I mean, I haven't seen Richard Donner cut, but I have seen that scene, like, that's fucking stupid. I actually like the fact that they actually die. So, fucking shut up about he going to kill Zod, because he killed Zod before, and he's killed other people before in the comic books, and sometimes in other media, believe it or not. So yeah, I had no problem with him killing them. Like, yeah, well, let's just say they couldn't get away, and there was literally nothing else you could do. You might as well consider, like, taking that risk and actually killing Zod. So I had no problem in that, really. And then at the end of the movie, Clark Kent goes to the Daily Planet, and Lois like, welcome to the Daily Planet, because she knows. She can see through those fucking glasses. So, yeah, then the movie ends. So, yeah, that's basically all I think on Man of Steel. Sorry this was all over the place. I mean, this isn't a review. Do note, this is not a review. These are my thoughts. You want to see reviews, go check out The Awesome Cold Kid. I'm planning to make more, but those are reviews. these are just thoughts of mine. So, do know that. So after this movie, obviously we'll get the announcement of Batman v Superman, and history is history. So yeah, overall I like this movie. I think it's a good one. Not one of the best, but it's certainly not as bad as not bad as people make it out to be, I think. But hey, that's my opinion. So yeah, go check out Man of Steel. It's a great movie, you know, for those of you that don't give a shit about spoilers. Or for those of you that have seen it, then go see it again or whatever. I don't fucking know. Get off my back. Post a comment down below. Tell me what you think of Man of Steel, and have you seen it? And if you want to know any my thoughts on anything else, let me know down below as well. Leave a like, and of course, subscribe to me. I'm Josh Alawi. Good day and good night. Take care. Up and away! You guys are ruining the moment. Stop looking.